Yeah, Monday. What's up, everybody? Monday morning. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. We're going to take a look at our markets from an educational perspective, identifying potential breakouts and reversals. Let's go ahead and get started as we are down 28 points today in the S&P and 120 points in the NASDAQ. Now, we were holding up pretty well, in the Globex session, the overnight hours, until the London Open. The London Open happened, and then kapowie, we came hammering down right on the London Open. We've gotten a little bit of a rally up in the last few hours, but I would anticipate that the U.S. Open will look very similar to what the London Open gave us. So, we were looking last night at a potential breakout about 44.30. Certainly never got that breakout to run us up to this cleaner supply area up here at 44.69. Unfortunately, didn't get a good entry for that. But looking at this on the 15-minute, I would say that you do have this little area here for a potential entry. Stop, obviously, it goes above that wick after the big move down. And we're looking at shorts. Shorts are going to be the way to go. We did come into a fairly decent 15-minute area of demand. Let me put a little bit more time on my calendar here. A fairly decent 15-minute area of demand where we have this unbalanced wick over wick, but we came close to it without really touching it and then moved away. So now, just by the simple fact that we're in a downtrend, that would have to be a confirmation entry. And then we came close to it without getting in, so that would make it a confirmation entry. Two confirmations don't make a right, and so I'm going to delete that level altogether. I don't know that I'd be looking at getting in on that area of demand. On a pullback back to the origin of the drop, I think you got a good supply zone trade. On a breakdown, you could have a breakdown opportunity that shows up, but I definitely would be focusing more on the short side of things. Now, the NASDAQ is our stronger kind of shortable market. We do certainly have a 15-minute area back in here. And that 15-minute level comes from this drop base rally. Now, this hasn't yet been touched. This is the bottom of this pivot and the origin of this strong move higher, not yet been touched, and so could be a little bit of a reversal. Below that, though, you really have to go back a ways to find quality demand. Now, if I look at the 1-hour demand, you do have this little wick over wick at 13612. I guess I could shore that up a bit. Little wick over wick right here at 13,609 by 13,593. It's not yet been touched, and that is a clean level that's not been touched yet, but that's pretty far away from current price. Below that, you're really not looking until 13,197, and I had to go all the way back to June of last year before I really found that area of supply of demand as a potential opportunity. You go below there and you're way down in here. Actually, it's May 19th of last year that level was formed. And so we're going back to early June for this 13,609. So essentially what that means is we're almost erasing an entire year's worth of gains to make it down to that level. I don't know that's going to be exactly a great turning point, but here's what I do know. I don't have any great quality demand until we get down there, which means that there's no real strong stopping points. Now, what does that mean for you as a trader? It means to not necessarily try to buy every small time frame demand that you see, and more importantly, stick to bigger picture areas of supply as an opportunity to get short. And that's really, I think, the best thing to look for are those bigger picture supply areas as opportunities to get short. Rallying back up certainly to the origin of this move down would be a way to go. But I think that the demand areas are just not there. They're just not really strong. And not really there. And we've already talked about the fact that if you're a longer-term investor, the market gave us a signal a few weeks ago to get out. It gave us a signal a few weeks ago to get out, and I've done a video about that. I'll link it to the end of this video if you guys want to take a look at it. But we've already seen what the big picture may tell us. So let's see kind of where we go from here. Looking at some of our crude oil, energies, metals, things like that. Crude oil, we have a very decent level on top of level at 91.65 by 90.63. Price comes back down into here. I think we can look for a decent reversal. I'm still overall net bullish. I am waiting for a reversal candlestick pattern on the weekly chart because we are in a long-term supply area, right? So this area over here would be what we would consider a very long-term supply, but I don't want to just jump in on that trade. I want it to be a candle-to-candle entry, utilizing a reversal candlestick pattern on the weekly chart, which I don't have as of yet. So in the meantime, I'm looking for long opportunities because my 4-hour trend is still very bullish. A pullback to here would be a decent entry on the hourly chart, 91.65 by 90.63. If you are a bit more conservative, you could take a confirmation entry on the upper level and then a limit entry on the lower level. Gold also continuing a bullish run. We talk about the fact that we typically believe that a lot of these speed candles get retraced, and if that is the case, you've got a little rally-based rally right here at 1842, and then on the 1-hour chart you have this little level right in there. So I like this first level actually for a pretty decent reversal if we come back down and retest that area. Could get a little day trade opportunity as a breakdown below 1851. Looking at some of our commodities, our currencies. Really, currencies were tough to trade. Looking at it last night, there was not a whole lot out there. There was a lot of sideways price action. But I will say that the euro is coming to the origin of a very strong move higher. A speed candle that, like we said, eventually do tend to get retraced. It is on its way back down to there. However, we're getting basing in front of the level, which, if you remember, we call that the kiss of death, right? We may still get a little bounce off of there. If you do decide you want to take that trade, look for a rally back up into here and for a short back in this region. This 13435 as a good entry for a short. I think you still could, like I said, I think you still could get a bounce off of here for a 2-to-1 reward to risk, but just play it very, very tightly. More of an intraday scalp opportunity in that case. Canadian dollar is actually coming to a potential breakdown area here at 78.141. Look for basing to happen inside this region and for a breakdown to occur right there. We do have a pretty good area of supply up above us in the Canadian dollar. If I take a look at my crypto futures right quick, we talked about the fact that I thought that Bitcoin may get a little rally, and we did not come all the way back to this gap fill area as of yet for an entry. In the overnight, I looked at a 15-minute potential supply area here. You did get a little move away from there just before midnight, and then it rallied back up. So it gave you a little bit of a trade, but frankly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles later, it had not really done a whole lot. We had a gap inside there, and so if you got in, maybe you're out with a small loss. Maybe you even close it out for a small profit because 6 candles later it hadn't done anything or a break even. But on the bigger picture, I'm a little bit surprised that we've not gained a bit more momentum coming up above this 45,578 because we did put in what I would consider a pretty strong bottoming pattern right through here. But is this simply going to mimic this, right? This was also a decent bottoming pattern before then falling straight through. So we're in between some areas right now. I will say this about this level is that the hourly level, which has the gap fill, this gap fill hourly level right here has already been violated in Ether. So Ether had that same area and it broke through that level pretty easily. And so that, makes me a little bit less confident on the Bitcoin area. But if Ether comes back up to 3,000, I think you've got a really good area for supply as an opportunity to short. You could also get a breakdown below this, the Globex low. So that's what I have for today. I would say trade with the trend. If the market's giving you a trend, don't fight it. Go with it. Just wait to find a way to enter that position using a breakout or a reversal. If you have any questions, send us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Till tomorrow, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually alive and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.